All right, we're live. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode. Matt, James, and Sam, as usual, are here. And today we have a special guest with us, Mr. Tom Dunford. Tom, how's it going, man?
Hey, thank you. I'm doing pretty well. Thank you for having me on the show today.
Absolutely, man. Glad you could join us.
Hey.
So, Tom, for our viewers who might not know you, tell us about yourself, where you're from, how you got in lacrosse.
Hey, so I'm Tom Dunford. I am a freshman at UMass Dartmouth. Played lacrosse all through my life. Wasn't very good at it. However, I am good at looking things from more like of an analytical eye. So I started like writing for sports, and all of a sudden I saw the PLL. Started writing for the Premier Lacrosse League. Now you can read all of my articles on primetimesportstalk.com. And also, you can follow me on my Twitter at TomDunford19 or my Instagram at TomDunford19. And yeah, I listen to Quick Sticks all the time. I really love you guys. You guys are funny, you're charismatic. And you know what? You got some things to say that maybe I don't agree with at times, but it happens. It happens.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it. Let's get it going.
I love that.
Well, we're very happy to have you, Tom.
Real quick, we will have both of his handles in the section
Absolutely.
below. So anybody wants to follow.
Get you some
We
promo.
got you. We got you.
Well, let's jump right into this. We had week one officially in the books. We were back in Albany for opening week, which I know the PLL loves the setup in Albany.
Absolutely.
Dude, that place looks like a zoo. It looks so
Yeah,
sick.
It looked amazing. It had a great turnout.
It looked really cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
2 games on ABC Network, which, if you guys haven't seen the stats, were probably exceeding every one of the PLL's expectations, I would assume. Great numbers, but having 3 games with a 1-goal differential is can't really ask for much more than that. So
Correct.
let's go through these. So the first game we had, Sam, we're going to turn this right over to you. Redwoods Atlas as our
That's
home
Sam's
Atlas
team.
fan.
Okay.
What happened here? Because you were
Don't
very
phrase it
confident in the
a
Atlas.
loaded
You were
ass
very
question.
confident in an Atlas win last week.
Yeah.
Don't
I
back
mean,
down from that. Don't back down
No,
from that.
I was. I have
Okay.
to be. It's week 1, man. I thought they were going to come out of the gates pretty hot, and I was sorely disappointed. I thought both teams were a little sloppy coming out. There's like a few missed shots. Like it was kind of getting everybody warmed up. So second quarter really felt like the beginning of the game. And overall, like Redwoods looked fantastic on both sides of the ball. They played great. Transition was way better than Atlas. And so yeah, for most of the game, it felt like Redwoods were controlling the pace, were controlling most aspects of the game besides faceoffs. And that's kind of what was so frustrating is, Baptiste kind of did what he was supposed to do and control the faceoffs, and then we couldn't get anything started on the offense, which is kind of Atlas's problem, or what it's been for quite some time. So yeah, it was a great game though. First game of the new season. I thought it was pretty electric. We had like 2 or 3 top 10 worthy goals, or like at least 2 in that game alone.
I mean, Ryder had 4 by himself.
Yeah,
At all.
Ryder
Top
got done the
10.
real by
Ryder
himself.
It was Ryder
crazy.
Garnsey's day, man. That man was
100%.
But the
just
Jeff
going
T
off.
to Xander Dixon was
Dude,
one
that
of
was
the
insane.
craziest plays I've ever seen in
Dude,
my
that
life.
was legitimately one of those
crazy.
craziest goals I've ever seen, ever.
Like,
Yeah.
and by the way, like shout out to Xander Dixon for hat trick coming into his first PLO game. Like that's pretty big. And I think we'll see a theme over this weekend, like talking about it, like all the freshmen, all the rookies kind of showed up and showed out.
Sure.
So yeah, great first game. Sucks that Atlas lost, but it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, not that long, but Tom, let's go to you. What'd you see in this one?
So while I was watching the game, I made a comment to myself, and it stuck with me until the end of the game entirely. Atlas, Atlas made a choice to go heavy defense in the draft, and you could tell that the potential for a great defense is there. The potential was also not reached in that game. They looked really raw. There were like the Ryder Garnsey goal where he was like doing like somersaults and like he looked like a Marvel character out there. That doesn't happen if a competent defenseman is on him. They stick check. They can play to the speed. They can play. They can play with his feet. They can do those things. What is it like? 2 or 3 out of those defensemen were rookies. First game in the PLL. Completely different game, completely different speed, and I think it showed. I do think the potential is there. I do think the potential will be reached, but the defense looked very raw.
Wow.
Amen.
Great
Love
takes.
that too.
Well
Well
said.
said.
I gotta
Yes.
ask Tom, who is your team?
So I'm from Boston, so I guess I'm a Cannons fan.
Yeah, you
But
are.
like,
Gotcha.
but like,
You think they'll end
I
up
mean,
there?
I mean, I'd be absolutely shocked if they didn't end up in Boston. I feel like that is.
Yeah.
I don't have a lock for any other team other than the Boston Cannons coming back.
That's
I think
fair.
that's fair.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, all the MLL
Also makes
guys
it makes a
have
good
the
story,
group.
and sports love a good story, so that'd be great.
Yes. Yep.
I think the only I do agree. I think the only possibility they don't end up there is Paul is just so adamant of we're not the MLL that he wants to take them somewhere else. But the fans have all been screaming Cannons have to go back to Boston.
100%.
We always show up too. If you look at like when you look at Gillette, it's always like filled up. When you look at like
Yeah.
the All-Star game even, it's filled up. People show up in Boston. It's big in Boston. I work at a grocery store right now. I see like 10 people walking around with different like PLL jerseys. The game is
Damn, that's
That's
awesome.
sweet. That's sweet.
awesome.
That's
yeah, I
really
know.
cool.
I always comment on it.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
that's really cool.
Yeah, I think
Go
I'm not out of the woods here by any stretch because my Redwoods take is we're not starting off on a great foot here. I said last week I see the Redwoods going 4-6, 5-5 at best. That is looking like a very
That's
freezing
not
cold take right now.
Yeah.
No, dude, the Redwoods shocked me. They look great.
Mhm.
Ryder Garnsey looks like an early MVP candidate. I mean, he was playing cat and mouse out there, but Trevor looks like peak Trevor.
Yep.
I thought TD looked better than he did last year. It's still early, but I
He
mean
did.
but I mean,
so.
it's Trevor's just so far on another level than anyone
It's hard to
else in the
go.
league.
Yeah, it's hard to compare. But I think
Yeah,
TD.
I think TD's at least healthy.
Yeah,
I think
he's
he's
healthy.
100% healthy. Like that was a battle.
Yeah.
I think Nakai ended up negating a lot of Trevor's success. I mean,
Yeah,
he was
that's
so
true.
good.
5 or 6 GBs off the wing
Yeah.
were massive.
Yeah,
was
Like
insane.
there
He's so
was some
fast.
clean wins for Trevor, and I also think we saw as very evident that John Grant Jr. has changed that offense completely.
dude, their offense
They were
looked
they were
so much
fluid,
better.
They were flowing, ball was rolling. I mean, it was
cool to
also
hear
fun to
Nat
watch.
St. Laurent say like that was obviously a big concern of implementing a new offense. Like, will these guys adapt? And I was like, dude,
Yep.
they looked so
Yeah.
much better than they did all last year.
I think these guys did the best with the 32 seconds too, from all the teams.
For
Yep.
sure.
Thank you.
We're gonna get into it later, but I feel like some teams they look like they didn't practice that much, or at least they didn't look very well versed. And hey, we got to go probably on the second touch after that. Maybe that's just practice. Maybe people will learn over the year, but just so we have this on record, Sam, I'm still staying with my Concannon will not be your starter at the end of the season.
Okay.
100%.
Not a chance.
We'll see how that turns out.
He's
Okay,
not.
so you don't
But
believe
no,
it. So you don't believe
Tom, I agree. I thought their defense, Atlas's defense, looked lost at
Young.
times. I cut Gavin Adler a little slack. Brett Makar, like, I'm very confused why he didn't
Thought
get more
they-
playing time.
I thought Brett looked pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, he did.
Starting
He just
that
wasn't on the
transition.
field
He
enough.
was playing more up top, so he was subbing in and out. That's why.
Yeah.
Um,
So I don't know. I would like to see him get more playing time, but
Why can't the Atlas dodge from the midfield, man? Like Costabile took the first possession down, scored, and I was like, okay,
Yep.
Atlas are back. And then after that, I didn't see one
It's-
midfielder beat their man, not one.
That's what I know. And that's
Not
what's
one.
kind of aggravating is because, I'll bring it up later, but
Yeah.
it's aggravating that
That's why
we
I'm
don't see
glad
any.
Joe Keeks called out Nakai and said not only did he pick up those GBs, he was one-on-one with Romar all day and shut him down. Completely.
And Sean, yeah,
It's true.
Completely.
But yeah,
Great game.
Absolutely.
Great game. Great
it
start.
was a good
Great
game. Yeah, I was glad
100%.
that one was on ABC. It was an exciting
sure.
game.
Yeah. 100%.
So Redwoods pulled off the upset. I think it's considered an upset. They moved to 1-0.
technically, they
I
were.
would call it one.
What's up?
Technically, they were the underdogs going
Yeah.
in, so it is. an
Oh
upset.
yeah, I mean, based off last year, they were an underdog to everyone except Cannons, I think.
Yeah.
Also, we need to shout out Jack Kelly. That man looked good.
He looked
Yeah, Jack Kelly
Very
looked
He
good.
was seeing everything.
that defense looks scary as hell. Garrett Epple, like, oh my goodness.
Dude, I have no time for Garrett Apple's checks, man.
No,
No
that's
time.
top 3
No
players I would
time.
not want to get into a fight with. is
man,
Garrett Apple.
no chance. Him and
Garrett
Tucker,
Apple's probably a strong 1 or 2 seed.
strong winner.
Oof.
That's true.
Wow. So
We'll see.
let's go to the next game. Archers Cannons. James, let's start with you. What'd you see in this one?
I think we saw that Archers were missing a good faceoff guy, and the Archers got a good faceoff guy.
Yeah.
Shit.
I think
Yeah.
I think we saw that. I also think we need to be ready to admit that the O'Keefe connection with Amen is going to be a problem. It's gonna be a big problem. As we all saw the stats, O'Keefe had like 30 more touches than he did all last season. He had 3 goals. They just looked really good. But I know the Cannons did lose, but I thought the Cannons looked really good. I know they lost, and I wasn't happy about that. But I really think they look solid, and it looks like Asher's ready to be the feeder and kind of be a little bit of the quarterback on this offense, which was fantastic. And I don't know too much about him, but from all the interviews I've seen, I love the Cannons head coach, the new head coach. He just seems like a big
He's a lax
guy. Yeah, he's a huge lax guy. He said he's coached at every level. He wants to try PLL. He's coaching with like his son. It's amazing. So no, I was impressed by both sides. I think the Archers needed a faceoff guy, and Mike is not only a faceoff guy. He's a really good athlete off the ground. So
he was a wrestler, wasn't he?
Yeah, he's like a college wrestler too.
He was. Yeah, he did both. He wrestled at like 180 something, and then also did lacrosse, which is
that's a potent combo right there.
To think about.
100%. I mean, I always say if I could build a lacrosse team, I want my faceoff guy to be a wrestling player.
Yeah, so much.
Yeah. So no, they look electric. I'm scared of the Archers because they have a really, really soft faceoff guy.
Yeah. Let's go to our resident Cannons fan. See what he saw out of them this weekend.
Mr. Boston.
I before we started recording, I said I had a bone to pick with one of the new rule changes. That rule change was that 32-second shot clock. I thought both the Archers and Cannons, at least in the first quarter, it looked like a high school game out there.
Yeah.
Passes weren't being made. People kept overthinking. The defense wasn't pushing. They weren't crossing. I mean, I don't think a shot was made on target for like 8 minutes, dude. It was egregious to watch as a fan. And on the Cannon side of things, I think that loss of Lyle Thompson definitely hurt them. However, I think the coaching staff did a really good job at painting a new game plan because it showed. Like, as we were talking about, Mac O'Keefe, he looked outstanding. I think if Lyle Thompson is there, he doesn't get half of those chances. Lyle Thompson was that whole offense. And with him being gone, I think it opens up the window for players like Asher Knowlton, like Mac O'Keefe, like players who were a little bit under the radar can now step up. And I think it was shown in that first game, at least.
Yeah.
Can I
we've
piggyback
seen
on
that.
that?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tom, do you think the sloppiness is a result solely of the new shot clock rule, or would we not be having the same conversation saying it's first game jitters?
I think it's both because it was every single team. Every single team, at least in the first quarter, looked a little sloppy. So it could just be first game jitters. However, I don't think I've seen that many missed shots in like an entire weekend ever in the PLL.
Yeah.
I don't there's no stat and I didn't count this, but I'm sure there's like at least like 40 or 50% of the shots were just shot wide.
You saying like shot wide is it like bad shots or shots that they had to take because the shot clock was ending?
Like shot clock was ending. Like from way outside the perimeter and stuff.
Got it. Yeah. Would you be okay with lowering the shot clock only after you hit the goal or you hit the cage? Or do you want to take out the 32 altogether? Okay, you just don't want it right after the face-off.
Yeah, right after the face-off is no good for me.
Got it. Okay.
I think a lot of people felt that way. I don't think that's a rare.
No, it's not a rare take at all. No, not at all.
No, I think most of Twitter was right there with you, Tom. They were kind of noticing that kind of lower level of, I guess, like what we expect from these guys every weekend, like, you know, being crisp on passes and always having on target shots. But I'm kind of taking the other side of that argument. I kind of like that we're implementing this at this skill level, because I think it adds another like layer or strategic layer for these guys, that there's going to be a little chaos off the face off, especially, you know, if we see nice, if we see, along like 15-second ground ball situation, and then someone's like, lost in the field. I think it just like adds that little element of fun in that time period, and teams just need to start practicing it. And we saw it, like Atlas, Baptiste was running out there not knowing if he needed to sub off or stay on half the time when I watched. Other teams were doing the same thing. They didn't know, is this my rotation? Do I need to go in here, or do we need to get a shot on goal and set up again? Kind of that sort of thing. So, but they're pros, right? Like, this is the pro league. I think we should set this standard and keep this standard. I think it'll work itself out towards the end of the season, and we'll probably see some teams come up with some crazy ass plays during this 32-second to try and get advantage in some way. So yeah, probably a little sloppy, but I think it'll clean itself up by next week. Teams now see kind of the advantage they can have, especially with like LaSala, Baptiste, Sisselberger. Like, we're seeing a lot of good face-off guys. 100%. It's going to be battles now.
Like that. I think it also makes the two-way midi much more lucrative in drafts.
And we're
right. We're gonna get to it in the Water Dogs game, but the fact that Courier can not only face off, pick up the ground ball, and play defense, that is a lucrative man. That is something that you need on every roster solely because of this rule.
Pay him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This game was about how I predicted it would go. I agree. Cannons looked better than I think. I think you're right, Tom. I think Lyle being out is obviously not good for the Cannons, but for people like Asher Knowlton, it's great, because you're right. Their offense was revolving around Lyle every season, and now Asher's getting more touches. He's feeding the ball. He had 5 assists?
Yeah.
I mean, he's
great. His vision's crazy.
Yeah, man. His vision's never been an issue. But the Archers went 6-4 last year while having the lowest face-off win percentage in the league.
Jesus.
Yeah, that's kind of scary.
If this man Sisselberger's giving them more possessions, and you've got Grant Ament, Matt Moore, Tom Schreiber, and Connor Fields, dude, that is the rest of the league needs to be on notice.
Connor Fields drinks something different when he's in Albany, man. He always goes off. He always goes off when he goes home. Between the legs.
Crazy. So is Connor Kelly.
It's true.
But the Archers are kind of scaring me. I know it's just week 1, but they look seriously really good.
No, they are. If they can play make and take it, they're gonna make and take a lot.
Yes, absolutely.
Ament looked great. I thought that offense was humming.
Yeah, but I mean, it's clear like Cannons are in a rebuild mode, but it was defense and faceoffs, man. Like they're having the same issues they did last year.
But like this 32-second, is it not perfect for the man that we gave up draft picks for, Bubba Fairman? I didn't see him that much.
Yeah. That's a good point. I didn't really see that much either.
Before we transition, Brett Dobson deserves some respect.
100%.
That's true.
100%. That man was
deserves that man was going ballistic out there. I mean, oh my God. Just looking at his stats, bro.
What do you put up?
He had 16 saves, a 59% save percentage, 12 scores against, 1 2-point goal against, which, I mean, the Cantons were taking a bunch of 2-pointers out there.
Yeah.
He looked special. He looked special. I think they made the right move by transitioning from Gittleman to Dobson.
100%. Dobson is, I mean, he looked arguably the best besides, obviously, my man plays.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. I thought Gittleman looked solid too. I mean, we knew what Gittleman could do, but Brett Dobson,
what a slash that man threw out, huh?
Yeah, that was a little aggressive. But yeah, no, it was a good game. I think it went about how we all thought. Again, like the PLL, you rarely see a true like ass whooping.
Yep.
But I mean, that just shows how competitive this league is. Is like Cannons are probably going to end worst team in the league somewhere near the bottom. Archers could very well be in the top 3 seeds.
Sure.
And it was only a 3-goal differential. That's not a huge gap.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
Yeah.
That's true.
They're
That's true.
missing Lyle and only losing by 3, like scoring over 10. I thought that offense looks really good.
I mean, I think
Way
that's a
better
shout
than-
out to Coach Holman because that's
Absolutely.
he
Yeah.
found out Lyle was gone maybe 2 months ago. Not
Yeah, we were
even?
debating that. We're assuming Lyle told him like way before he told the media, because that'd be kind of messed up. to
Oh,
just say, like,
100%.
Oh, hey,
100%.
by the way, like I'm taking the year off. Asher, good luck. I'm assuming he knew a couple months ago, but either way, he didn't have a long timeline to figure it out. So
Yeah.
kudos to him. Kudos to him.
All right, well, let's jump to Sunday. James, we do have to chat about this one. Chaos Water Dogs was the first game. I'll start this one off because I was not impressed with the Water Dogs. I don't know if it was week 1 jitters, but we were texting on Sunday. I know their offense looked dull to me. It was very ISO heavy. It was, once the faceoff was won, it was one-man dodging. There was no off-ball movement, which is fine to start with that, but if it's not working, you have to adjust. And I did not see. I saw a few adjustments after halftime, but for the remainder of the first half, I didn't see any adjustments. I will say for the Chaos, putting a shorty on Zach Courier is a bold move. I think some would call it disrespectful, but interesting choice. But no, I was mad for the first 3 quarters that this game was on national TV because it was a pretty boring game. But the fourth quarter picked up a lot, and then you have an OT winner. Like that's the dream that you want on national TV, I think.
Yeah. Well, I was happy because the game was different and it kind of showed you can win in different ways. And this was like a defensive battle. Like the old heads loved this game.
Exactly.
This,
like
grind it out.
True
long
lax
ground
guys
balls. Yeah.
were like, this was such a good game because it was
this
defense
is lacrosse.
focused.
Yeah. This is like 2014 Maryland, like still on the ball.
Right.
Yeah, but no, I was severely impressed with Minicus for us.
Oh
I think he's going to be
great.
Dude, he is fast.
Very good. He is so fast.
He's so fast.
He's so fast.
Oh my God.
But,
He just ran by his guys like 3 times. It was insane.
It wasn't that many,
impressive.
but it was.
I love the Rowlett Sowers matchup. I could watch that all day. That was
Dude, he took him out of the game. What do you mean?
What do you mean? That's a good matchup.
Yo,
Dude, Jack Rowlett stoned him up until like the halfway through the
100%.
fourth quarter.
100%. I know
Newman
he
tried to
did.
take him out too.
Newman.
That was not a high hit. That was not a high hit. Don't
No,
do
that was
this.
a
No,
that was
it
a
was
good
fully
hit.
clean
It was
hit.
just a-
It's clean hit.
But that's just Sowers like every year going for that shot, knowing you're gonna get.
Dude, my man
absolutely-
went flying squirrel into that crease.
yes.
And he knows Newman's right there. The slide, like he's done it this past 3
I mean,
years.
he went and dapped up Newman after, man. It's like
Yeah. I mean,
it's
he
fair,
knows.
but like
all his,
I'm just saying,
all's
Sowers
fair.
always puts himself in that position and has put himself out of the season last two out of 3 years.
Yeah, but
for
what
that
are you
thought.
what are you gonna do, man? They call it pay dirt for a reason.
That's his game, though. He can't
Like
change
that's
it.
exactly like
That's what he
you gotta
does.
get to the
It's
front of the
risky,
cage.
man.
It's risky. It's high risk, high reward, though.
I was gonna say you
It's-
have to. Like what?
He
But-
also doinked that shot off Blaze's helmet,
He did.
which was hilarious. But
He did.
Dude,
Blaze
no,
is still
the
the best
Chaos-
goalie in the league, by the way.
yes,
Just-
Chaos.
I'm not arguing with anybody.
Chaos are absolutely concerning because when you guys get your offense back,
Yeah.
if Blaze is playing this well, your defense is playing this well, and then Nick Rowlett at the faceoff stripe looked fantastic.
Yeah, that's a
big
huge
Nick Rowlett fan. My God.
Absolutely apologize for thinking that was a nepotism pick because my man.
You said
has-
that. You said it was
I did say that.
nepotism.
I
agree.
owned it. I owned it. I owned it.
You did. I respect that.
I was
I
like,
respect
"Was this
that.
just because we can get brothers together?" And then he was like, "Nope, I'm stealing
No, he's
70% of your
he's
face."
good. Our defense looked a lot better this year than it did, especially beginning of last year. So
I'm very nervous about Chaos. Like
Oh,
once you
this-
guys are 100%, this
Yeah.
is kind of scary.
The Chaos are always a threat, though.
They
They're
are.
always going to be a threat.
No,
They're
so-
always-
so not always a threat. Not
They're always a threat. What do you
What do
mean?
you-
They made
wait,
it to
what
the
do you mean?
championship series last year after going like 4-6 or something.
big Tom fan. Big Tom fan. Come back on the show whenever you want.
They are always with Andy Towers as head coach and with the best goaltender in the league in Blaze Reardon. You are always going to have a chance to win every single week.
Yes.
They
100%.
just played,
Dangerous
They
ass
just-
offense.
mind you, they just played a team in the Water Dogs who's offense first. They have a great offensive structure, and they scored 8 goals on them
Yep.
and the Chaos don't even have their full team yet. Without their full team, and you just went toe to toe with the team who won the championship last year.
Yep,
It's true. That's
absolutely.
true.
I'm saying, man, when they get this offense back, the
It's
league
gonna be
better be
trouble.
ready.
It's gonna be. I cannot wait to see this matchup when we have our guys back and you have your goalie back.
I
That's gonna
know,
be
which
fun.
I do.
You know,
That'll
I
be
do.
great.
I mean, obviously that you guys were missing a lot more. Having Dylan Ward back will be huge. I mean, Matt DeLuca played fine. Like he didn't play bad.
no, he did. 100%.
I thought, especially in
When
the first half, he looked sharp, but it's
when Ward
more
plays
the
that high
captain.
crease,
Yeah,
when he plays that high crease, it changes your whole offense, man.
It does.
I mean, it is so crazy.
When are they
Tom,
slated to come back? Sorry.
He's back this week.
Oh, okay, cool.
I mean, they should. I mean, they probably partied this whole week.
But they should be back probably this week.
Yeah, they put him on
next
their
week.
active roster already.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Nice.
Tom, what did you see out of the Water Dogs?
Yeah, super curious what you saw.
So I have a deep love for the Water Dogs. Despite their horrible game, I hate that name.
It's a sad story.
Last year when they were like 2-3 and they were like in the trash can, people were like, this team is horrible. I kept saying that team is really good, that team is a threat, and then they ended up winning the championship. I did not see that team is really good. That team has a lot of offense in this past game. I saw, obviously, first game slapping us, but I saw missed passes. I saw bad reads. I mean, Courier played outstanding, but besides him, I mean, I was a little at loss at times. Like, yeah, they won the game, but I don't even think they were like top 5 in teams at this past week.
No.
Like, if I were to rank them, I would put Chaos above them. Even though Chaos lost, I think Chaos played the better game.
I think it's fair.
It's a solid take.
They were missing so many players, but dude, you're right, because like Sowers obviously had Rowlett on him, not a factor. Kieran McCardle, I didn't hear his name until like almost the fourth quarter.
What
Jack
happened
Hanna,
to McCardle?
I don't know.
He got shut down. He got shut down. They kept him aside.
Who was on him?
I don't even
can't
remember him doing like anything. I was waiting for he and Hannah to kind of go off.
I thought he had a goal late in the game.
I know Hannah probably had I know Hannah had one, but it was late.
No, Hannah didn't score.
No?
Yikes.
Kieran didn't score. He had 3 assists. He didn't score though.
There we go.
Mm.
Because he passed one of those to Sowers. That's right, on the pick.
I want the Water Dogs need to get back to that 2-man game they were running with Sowers and McCardle last year, because that was like their bread and butter.
When they do it at GLE.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, that thing's impossible to guard.
Because everyone was so worried about Sowers coming up the side.
Yeah,
getting
McCardle's
top side.
so good around the cage. He's so
and then
good.
backdoor was wide open. So Water Dogs are having the same issues, dude. Face off, getting Withers back will help, but Zach Tucci is just, he's not the guy. He didn't even compete with Nick Rowlett, which Rowlett might just be that good, but to lose that many in your opponent's first game is not a good look. So
that's true, because you don't really have much excuses. Like, this guy hasn't been here yet. Like, you gotta at least.
I will say though, Jake Caraway has not lost a step, because my man was cooking with gas out there.
He looked
What a pick up.
He looked really good.
Wow. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I think give Chaos like 3 weeks. I see you guys in the top 2.
Yep.
I think you can be the most complete team in the league for sure.
Yeah, it's up there.
It's gonna be exciting to see Dominicus with the other guys.
Right.
That's gonna be.
Who was the other guy that kept scoring for you guys?
Number 50 from Ohio State.
What's his name?
The short kid who was like 5'7". No offense, man. Sorry.
No, don't do that.
That's so
no, it was
about. Or you're talking about
Troy
Zin.
Ray. Or is it Troy? What's his first name? Yeah, Troy Ray.
Smith.
Yeah, he was. Well, no, he wasn't the guy. He only
Ryan
had one goal.
Smith?
That dude was everywhere. He also slashed the shit out of Jack Hanna and hurt him. So he's.
Oh, he did. He did. I'll give you that. That was bad.
I thought there was another guy. Maybe it was. It wasn't Kyle Jackson.
You look good.
I don't know. Maybe I'm completely making this up. I thought there was another guy. Ryan Smith, he had a good goal.
Yeah, he does. Very.
Yeah,
very
you guys
smart.
I mean, you only had 7 goals, but no one had more than 2 goals on your team. Like you guys were, sharing the ball around quite a bit. But that brought me back to, I do want to talk rule changes now before we get into the last game, because that was one thing, Tom, I was counting during this game was the number of shot clock violations I saw.
Jesus.
It was
Game was
outrageous.
That was
Outrageous.
over
my-
10?
And even I checked Lack's Twitter like multiple times because I was live tweeting during the game, and there were so many about like, well, I hope you took the over/under on shot clock violations in this one.
Yeah, because there was
Yeah.
like 4 in the first
Dude, there were
5 minutes.
and it wasn't even like you guys were saying of like the clock, getting to 5 and then they just throw up a shot. It was like truly ball is still in a midfield or attackman stick and the clock's at 0.
And I think regardless of the rule change, I'm kind of mad about the lack of communication. Because like every team has a call, right, when it gets to 10 seconds, and every team has a call when it gets to 5.
You never heard
But there was times where people would just be carrying the ball with 3 seconds. I'm like, yo, like
or just standing on the wing.
right,
like,
or
looking
right,
for
just
someone.
standing there. And I think another thing I didn't think about was if you have a man up that's like a minute, right, then you win the face-off. Like your man up isn't really a minute. And a lot of teams were like doing their entire man up offense, not thinking about the shorter
That's
shot
true.
clock.
It's a good
And then
point.
they were just losing possessions.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I counted 3 or 4 like lost or wasted possessions just in the first quarter of just shot clock violations and bad ones when they're like at the at the top and like not behind.
Like they're
the
still
cage.
running their offense.
Exactly.
Like to your point, I just don't think they were even aware of.
Yeah, like where's
Holy
the
crap, the
communication?
shot clock's running.
5 to go, like
And they have
let's
a
go.
pretty big shot clock on the field. Like it's
Yeah.
not.
Yeah,
like,
Marcus
they
Holman
can
talked
see
about
it,
it when he was
so-
under the helmet.
I
Yeah,
just
he
don't
talked
think
about
they've had that
Yeah,
mindset
it's just-
yet of like we need to look at the clock this quickly.
I think they
yeah.
they overestimated how much time they would have. Like I think they're like, we'll be fine. Like 32 seconds is enough time to get a shot off and get our offense going. And now
So-
they're seeing the reality of it.
So that's what I wanted to ask Paul when I was on the press conference. I was mad that I didn't get to like, was the 32 seconds an analytical decision that they went back to film and broke it down, and that's where they got the 32 seconds from? And was the NBA's success in going to 14 after you get a rebound a part of the decision, or was the 32 an arbitrary number that they threw a dart at? Like that's what I want to know.
I mean, I would hope it's the analytical answer, but that is
I
a
mean,
great
ground
question.
ball scraps take 10, 15, 20 seconds. So
Maybe
to
Joe
me,
knows.
a lot of the times, man, I felt like losing that face off made more sense. Because guys
Yeah.
would win it, there's 7 seconds left, they give it to one guy. Not only are you in a bad spot, you don't have your subs on. That it's a turnover high. And that's why I feel like guys like Curry are going to be so lucrative in this league. Because then Curry can just pick up the ball and go coast to coast. Jack Hanna, Liebman, who looked really, really good. So I don't know.
Yeah.
So Tom, I guess the question is, what is your biggest beef with the 32 seconds? And do you want to just get rid of it, or do you think that players will adjust over time and it will kind of even itself out? What do you think?
I think if we had gotten that question with Paul about analytical like choice, I think maybe this would clear the air. But right now, from what I'm seeing, you guys make some excellent points. It looks sloppy. Players don't like. You're right. You don't realize how short 32 seconds really is. You think it's long, and I mean when you're watching it, it doesn't feel that long. But a ground ball battle, 6-7 seconds. Then you have to scoop the ball. Then you have to gather your bearings. Then you have to make a pass. Then you have to make another pass. And by then you have you're down to like 8 or 9 seconds. Then you have to get a good pass, a good opportunity. I just wish. I think maybe come back to this on like the 3-4 week mark. If it's still something wrong, then we can really talk about it. Right now, I'm gonna go with the idea that maybe it's just first week. You're trying to get used to it, trying to get back into the speed of the game. But it looked really sloppy, and it looked kind of embarrassing for the league that there were so many shot clock violations.
It's true. No, it's
Yeah.
true. 'Cause it's like
That's a good point.
yeah, it's mistakes that we see in it's almost like traveling a bunch in basketball. It's like you just don't see 5 shot clock violations. I think my rebuttal to this thing would be, why don't we just do this for the last 2 minutes of second and fourth quarter? Because I love it for the end of games. I think it's going to change 1-goal games drastically. I love that if there's 45 seconds even a minute
That would
left,
be
you pick
cool.
up that
Yeah.
ball, that changes everything. That means you might get a possession if you get a stop, whereas now, a minute basically means the game's over. So
That would change everything. That
yeah,
would be really good. That would be really good.
yeah, because I thought that's what the idea was. And that's why what I asked Coach Copeland when we were on the press conference. I was like, "What do you think this
you
new
did ask
shot
him.
clock is going to be different for 1-goal games?" And he was like, "That's just something we're trying to figure out. Do you put a
He was
pole
like,
in your
we're worried
face-off?"
about the first half. It affecting in the first half.
Yeah, he's like, "I'm worried about the first few possessions." So I think if they do end of second, definitely fourth quarter, or maybe, I don't know, it sounds stupid, but maybe just for playoffs, that kind of thing. But no, I think it's going to even itself out. I'm just curious how they came to the 32 number, because I think Tom's spot on. I mean, it's not only is it quick, but we looked sloppy as a league, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I
Yeah.
have to
agree
assume
with
it's
Tom.
going to
I
take a
think
few
the-
weeks.
sure.
But-
I mean, they always do.
Yeah, I
Always
mean,
does.
any rule change is going to take some adjusting to, but taking 20 seconds off a 52-second clock that's a drastic change.
It's
So,
a-
I mean,
It's literally a game changer.
I
I
have to
think
assume the PLL board would like expected this. There's going to be a learning curve.
Sure.
because didn't they release that rule change like right before training camp or something like that?
Yeah, but
like
they knew
or
before
in the
that.
middle.
They
knew-
told them
knew-
way
they
before
knew-
that, yeah.
they
Did
knew
they tell them?
before that.
Okay.
For
There's
sure.
no way
so.
all those coaches
Yeah.
were doing all their plays and then just like, oh,
Yeah, you have to scrap your offense.
30 seconds. That doesn't change anything.
Hey guys, by
Yeah,
the way,
right.
the game's in 2 days.
Yeah.
We're taking 20 seconds off.
Dude, that would be
That
maybe
would
that's
really
why. Maybe that's why there was some chaos.
That would-
But who knows?
That's true.
Was that another pun?
Then I mean,
No,
Guys,
he's
It
just
was.
mad.
All
Okay,
right, let's
quarantine
do our last game of the weekend. Tom, we'll start with you. So this was Whipsnake's Chrome. Tell us what you saw in this one.
Talk to me.
they saved the best game for last
Agreed.
because the Whipsnakes are phenomenal. They're always going to stay phenomenal as long as they have that head coach and that offense running. The Chrome, I mean, dude, I did not know the Chrome were this good last year. And then because like they were horrible a few years ago. They were horrible. Wisnauskas comes onto the scene, Skanoni comes onto the scene, and all of a sudden they're winning and their offense is flying. I mean, I think it really showed yesterday that these two teams are both championship caliber. These two teams, we made a comment earlier about the Chaos being the most well-rounded team. I think they're the second most well-rounded team after the Chrome. Chrome has everything. They've got elite defense. They've got a quarterback in Wisnauskas, and don't forget Sam Hangley now, who is generational. That kid
And
looks
Nick
phenomenal.
Turn coming back in a few weeks.
Exactly.
and Nick Turn, yeah.
I think, and with Farrell as well as the photo, I think that team, they realistically could go like 8-2. The Whipsnakes are the Whipsnakes. We all know who they are. Will Manny, he looked like he fit right in with them.
Yeah, that was a good fit.
I mean,
That was a good fit.
I don't know. I don't know if he like had this plan to go with them and he was like already talking with them, but like they look like they had so much like more chemistry than I would have imagined for someone who
Agreed.
just signed a few months
Kind
ago.
of nerve wracking, honestly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
100%.
Like-
100%. He knows his role and he filled it perfectly.
Dude, so
He
well.
looked he looked phenomenal out there.
Yep.
I think
100%.
Chrome is a scary team this year.
Yeah.
They're coming off that championship series when Skanoni, he played outstanding like always.
So good.
Skanoni is my favorite goalie in the league. He's one of my favorite players in the league.
He's so
I
good.
think he's so calm.
Yes.
He doesn't let anything get to him. There was a bag shot that like went in. I forget who took it. Maybe Maggie took it, but he like hit the stick, and then he just
Oh
you know what I'm talking
yeah,
about.
he got a big
Barely
piece of it.
had
I
it.
remember that.
He looked right at the defense. What, that's on me. I'll bounce back, and he bounced back. He made a couple big saves a few minutes later. And it was like, that's what you need. You need a goalie who is competent and confident. Those two things are going to win you championships. They've already won a championship series. I think they're going to keep going.
That would be.
Are they your pick right now to win it all?
It's way too early to say, but after
yes.
I was trying to get on.
after week one,
Okay.
yes.
Lock it in.
I-
Lock it in.
I don't try to make locks until like like last year, my pick was the Water Dogs after at the
Oh,
halftime
yeah.
at the All-Star break. I don't try to make a pick until the All-Star break.
That's fair.
But right now, it's
I
Chrome.
like that.
I had the
Alright.
same. I had the same. I feel like Jackson Morrill isn't getting the respect he deserves either. He's
No, definitely not.
he had
At
5
least
points that
not
game.
through week 1.
Yeah.
He was very
Why does Hanley look so violent when he dodges, man?
Dude,
There's so
'Cause
much
he's
aggression.
it's such an
Which-
aggressive dodge.
so,
Yeah.
Like every time he was dodging, I was like, gee, he's mad at somebody.
Yeah,
He's so big, man.
He looks like a
That's such
fullback.
Yeah,
Yes.
Looks like a
huge.
fullback.
Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
I mean, people don't realize like Ty Warner is a very, very strong D midi, and Sam Hanley sat him down like
Yes.
easily. Rolled on him, sat him down, scored, and I was like, "Oh man, this is gonna
Yo,
be a long."
that dodge was
Yeah,
clean.
that was very.
That was when everybody's
very
like,
nice.
why did we give Sam Hanley up? Like, I think
Yeah.
that was kind of the moment. It was like you let that guy fall to these guys, and now their offense is potent as hell. And they didn't have their quarterback there, and they still had
Yeah,
fantastic offense.
they
Fantastic
looked
ball
really good. It kind of sucks that we keep talking about the whips. I mean, I think Tom put it best about how good the whip snakes are, but like they lost 2 games last year to the championships by 1 goal each, and they still aren't talked about as the number 1 or 2 team. You know, it's just weird. Just a weird.
Who, the
it's so
Whips?
weird. Yeah, the whip
Yeah.
snakes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I sent you guys that video of that guy comparing PLL teams to NFL teams,
Yeah. Yeah.
and he was like, the Whip Snakes are the Patriots. He was like, like the Tom Brady Patriots, but he was
Right.
like, they're in the championship every year. They usually win it, and everyone just like wants the downfall of the Whip Snakes. So like, it's a biased rank. If you don't have the Whip
It
Snakes in the
is.
top of your rankings, it's biased.
They gotta be Burnlord is back, by the way. Burnlord is back.
Dude,
He's
and-
back from injury.
I
Yeah.
think the best part of this game was the face-off. Dude, Pete
Yeah.
LaSalle looked good,
Yeah, he's a
He
really good
did.
athlete. He's a really good athlete.
but him and
I think
Connor
both were.
Farrell, like, dude, they were like starting to get into it at the end of the game. Like they were battling out there. It was awesome to watch.
Mhm.
I'm wondering long term what the 32 seconds is going to do for faceoff guys, because it was wearing on all of them. I don't know if you could tell, like a couple of the interviews with the faceoff guys, they were sucking wind, and like with the 32 seconds, they sometimes have to stay on the field.
Yeah.
And I think some faceoff guys took a break and had other guys take faceoff just because they were tired, just because they stayed on the field longer. So I'm curious what that does.
You
over
saw
the
Baptiste a few times like have to stay in the offense, and he just like
Yeah.
kept looking over at the sideline, like, "Can I get off?"
Yeah, he was like, "Yo, I need to get out." Even for his interviews, he was just like trying to get like his answers out. So no, that was cool. I think the Chrome are super solid, and I am 100% with Tom. Scanoni is so good. He is
He's
as advertised.
still underrated, which is crazy.
He's
to
still
say, but-
underrated. Still
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah,
is
I mean,
wild.
this was about what you wanted to see out of this game. Was like
100%.
2 offensive juggernauts just going at it. But yeah, I mean, I agree. I think if Chaos isn't the most complete team, you have to have Chrome in that conversation because everything is working right now.
Yeah, and I mean, we talk about it all the time, but like the best defensemen don't get talked about, which makes them a good defenseman. And I feel like that's JT Giles Harris.
Yes.
Like you just
absolutely.
won't hear his name the whole game, but he just shut down an attackman, had 2 or 3 big ground balls, caused turnovers, and you just don't hear about him like offensive linemen. So
Yep.
scary,
Yeah.
scary times.
It was a good game. I don't know. I want to see some postseason out of the Chrome though. I think you're right. I think they could go 8-2, 9-1 again this year, but we saw
Yeah,
that
but
last year.
we've seen young guns get a little
We saw that last year.
Yeah, they kind of got a little nervous in the first round. So
Yeah.
and
No,
Sam
the
thought the
Saints-
Chaos were gonna lose. Sam said that. It's on tape. Don't lie. He said that. It's on
That's
tape.
true. You did say that.
He did. He did
Just
say
I
that.
love doing this every episode, don't you?
That's true. And 2 people on this podcast owe me 80 quarters for the Chaos losing. So
That's true. I'm gonna. give
I'm
it back
only
when we play
accepting
golf.
quarters. So do not Venmo me. Do not cash. I want quarters. And
I'm gonna give you $50. You don't stop talking.
Yo, double or nothing this Friday.
I would take $50. Double or nothing on what?
Golf.
Golf.
No, how about on the PLL?
Okay.
I like that. I like that.
Who you guys play whips?
Yes.
I'll put 40 on
Yikes.
whips.
I was gonna say. I'm definitely taking that.
Yeah.
All right, so we already talked rule changes, so let's do our week 1 winners and losers. So this can be a player, a team, a coach, anything. It can be the league in general.
Love this.
Sam, let's start with you. We'll go around the circle. Let's do your winners first.
Okay.
Rookies in general. I thought
love it.
Good take.
Yeah.
all the rookies for every team they showed up. Xander had hat trick. Dordovic had a great game for the Whips. All
Dordovic's
the
going to be
face-off
a
guys.
problem in this league.
And yeah, I wanted to say that.
I
Dordovic
love watching
was
that man dodge. I
Dude.
love watching Tucker dodge.
his offhand away, like running away low,
Yes.
high to low on Scanoni, like that alone is super
Tucked it in the
impressive.
corner, bottom corner, offhand.
And that's his
offhand. Offhand. That's a problem, dude. Crazy.
So yeah, I thought rookies in general, they like basically showed that they can play in this league. And yeah.
We have to mention Mr. Cross Ferreira too.
Yeah.
It's a bad man. Doesn't matter where you're from. Love it.
Tom, who you got for your winner?
I'm gonna go Redwoods. I think that whole team in general. I mean, you look at last year; they were abysmal. You make a front management change, you make a goaltending change, and all of a sudden, your offense looks well more rounded. Well, sorry about that. Way more well rounded. Your goaltender can make a save because they couldn't buy that last year. Troutman was
100%
horrible
Troutman
last
was
year.
bad.
Yeah.
Yep, he was really
I don't know
bad.
what happened to him, but he did not look like himself. I mean, Kelly came in, he looked all right, but this to start off the season, you run with Kelly, you say, "Hey, we're going to trust you." He goes out and stops the high flying offense that is the Atlas, who play in a style where their fast breaks win them games. I mean, your defense must have confidence now. Your offense looks more competent now, and your goaltender has both of those things. I think the Redwoods are the winners this week.
Mm.
That was a very, very solid take.
God, that
very
was
well
so
done.
good. Damn,
God,
I don't want to
that's
go
good.
after that, James. You
Yeah,
go.
it's like, I'm not trying to go. I can go. I'll have a cop out night too. Winners. I'm gonna say Ledman for the Whips. I was worried that he was gonna be a little reckless, maybe have a little like some turnovers and such, but he looks PLL ready. He had a lot of great assists and a great Dodger. And the second kind of cop out winner I have is I think we as the fans. We got 3 overtime games. We have
that's
some
nice.
some.
That's a sweet take. That's what I'm
I'm just saying, like we had 3 overtime games. We had some of the craziest lacrosse goals I've legitimately ever seen in my life.
Yes.
High scoring. We had one that was low scoring. We all talked about the numbers of like the fans and how much people watch. I think the fans are big winners this weekend. It was a lot of fun.
That's fair to say. I'm going Archers. I think Archers had the offense last year. They lost a few key pieces, but they added some pieces. And the main issue was they didn't get possessions last year. So it's only week 1, but it looks like they've fixed that issue. And if they're consistently getting this many possessions every game, they are going to be racking up the scoreboard on teams.
100%. 100%.
Let's go counterclockwise here with our losers. James, we'll start with you.
Yes.
Please don't take mine. Please
Okay.
don't take mine.
What do you have?
I have a player, not a team.
Oh, okay. I have. Sorry, Sam. I got the Atlas. I am so sick of you guys having a dominant face-off guy and losing games. I'm over it. Like,
I'm right there with you, man.
yeah, it's my take. It's my take. You have a turn. I'm sick of them not being able to put away teams. They have all this talent in the world. It was really great to see what Trevor was doing, but Trevor got kind of canceled out by Nakai, which honestly is kind of embarrassing. So, and I think the midfield dodging for the Atlas really has me worried. I mean, I didn't see any creation. Like they need like an etch a sketch or something. So that's what I got. Losers. Atlas losers.
Tom, loser of the week.
Mine's gonna be a really, really hot take. I'm going Water Dogs.
No,
Loser of the weekend. Wow.
Even though you won, you beat a squad that doesn't have half its players. You basically got goalied. You got
personal.
you got goalied. Blaze Reardon played out of his mind. Your key stars didn't play like key stars. Your defense was fine. And yeah, your goalie is not there. He's coming back in Ward. But your offense has to be better. Because if you're not better, if you're putting up 8 goals a game, you're not beating teams like the Whipsnakes, Archers, Chrome, or hell, even the Chaos again. I think if you run that back 10 times, I see Chaos winning 6 of them.
I'd be hard pressed to disagree
Yeah,
with that.
man,
I'll
he
be
held
honest.
up. He held up 8, so you knew.
Yeah, I know.
You saw that?
Like 8, not 8, 8. It's
I
true.
think
that felt like a therapy session for Matt, man. That was
Seriously.
awesome.
I think even though they won, there's a lot of work that needs to be done for the Water Dogs.
I 100% agree with you, Tom. I think that's a great take. It's a great take.
Yeah, that
And
that
kind of
hurt,
a BS
but-
goal to win on. I mean, I'm not saying you guys didn't deserve to win because you guys do.
Yeah,
But
it wasn't the most exciting.
he didn't really
overtime
shoot
winner.
it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
it's like a Sam NHL goal.
Okay, well, I feel attacked, so we're gonna go to Sam.
Yeah, go Sam.
This is kind of hard because can we just rewind and replay what James said about Atlas, because that was kind of my take.
Wait, I said similar, so can I go?
You can go.
I'm kidding. Go ahead. Was yours really the Atlas?
I mean, based on coming into the season and expectations, yes, I think Atlas did not live up to, being able to dominate face-off and being able to dominate the offensive side of the ball. Nakai played outstanding as a D midi and dominating the ground balls there. So, and to echo again what James said, like, we have no offense. Like, our guys basically just stand around, and if they can't make the dodge and get around their man one-on-one, like, our offense is flat. Like, we had to rely on Jeff T getting around his guy 3 or 4 times and making a highlight pass or a highlight goal, and doing the exact same thing with others, like Chris Gray's goal. Like, we shouldn't have to rely on those goals to be competitive week in, week out, and we have to, or we were this past week. So overall, like, expectation wise, that's why I think Atlas meets that category more than the Water Dogs. But yeah.
But Xander was a silver lining, no?
Absolutely. Like, if anything, that
But
kind of
offense has never
validates
been the problem. Well, it has, but
Well, yeah.
I mean, it
like,
has. It has.
I'm just seeing
have
somebody
another-
who's solely a finisher, like, start finishing
Yeah.
this early in the PLL. That's like really exciting. I mean, he
exciting.
has some of the best hands in the league.
Right.
Like,
But we can't live and die by Romar's 2-point. We can't live and die by that, because, like, that's kind of what happens is all else fails, and then Romar comes down, tries to beat 1-on-1, tosses up that crazy ass shot, and then
But the difference is you guys have to rely on the threat of Romar, not Romar's 2.
And now people are seeing, like, is it a threat or is it just last
Like,
resort?
it's literally how the Heat are using Duncan Robinson. Sometimes it's not the fact that he's going to make it; it's the fact that he might make it. So you have to rotate out to him, and that changes everything behind him. So Romar needs to hit 1 or 2 to get that, like, threat back, to be like, oh no, Romar's shooting. But right now,
But exactly, the second he hits it,
exactly everything.
He's getting that
I've been
slide
saying this
and our
since the
offense
first
is
year of the
open.
league, man. Trust me, I know.
It's true. We have it on film.
We do. It's all recorded. Is that all the losers?
I haven't gone yet, so I'll be the
That's
loser.
right.
He is the loser. Okay.
It's one player, and that's Jack Concannon.
Wow.
Jack Concannon is without a doubt the loser in my book.
Why?
We're Jack and Cannon haters on this pod besides Sam,
Haters,
obviously.
absolute haters.
I think he's the best goalie in tight. I think he's the best goalie in tight, but I think
In tight, yes, but he had not a great game. He saw 23 shots on net, which was the second lowest of the week, and led in 13 goals. Not saying they were saves that should have been made, but just from that stat sheet, it's not a good showing. You've got a very promising goalie behind him in Drake Porter. He played out of his mind in the championship series.
He did.
I do not think Jack Concannon finishes this season as the starting goalie.
Real quick, Tom, thoughts? I can see your face. Your camera's on.
We'll have to wait and see. But
see,
man, Jack
I don't
Concannon,
know.
what was he, like 3rd or 4th last year in goaltending save percentage? Something like that. You're just making an assumption because of what, one bad game?
But no, not one game.
No.
He has
This is
absolutely
based
cost
on
them games.
Yeah,
There is a pattern. I will.
end of
There is a
last
pattern.
season. And Tom, you can defend him all you want, but Kincannon's bad from the outside. Fact.
Oh, from 2-pointer,
he
he's
has-
the
No,
worst.
he's
He
always
gives
been
up-
on
he-
the outside.
His
He
vision
gives
at
up
rigging the ball
egos.
isn't the best. I'll admit that.
Yes,
not
100%. And so I've had this take since basically the championship series that I think Drake Porter is going to be their starter by the end of the season. And Sam doesn't agree, agrees, doesn't agree.
Might
We'll
be
see.
agreeing a little more now.
We'll see.
So no, it's
That's where I'm at.
like let's be clear though. I don't think Jack Kincannon sucks. I don't. I think he is the best goalie in type. I think he's the best goalie on the doorstep. I just think they have somebody better behind him, and I think when he stops seeing the ball, I think it's like it rolls downhill. And once guys like Chanachuk go up against Kincannon, it can get really bad. Like
Now,
really
I
bad.
will say, if I didn't look at the stats, but with the
Yeah.
2-point arc rule, we could be seeing less 2-pointers.
We
There were
definitely saw
only
less this
Go ahead.
weekend, right?
Yeah, there were only 2 scored this week in all the games.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot taken.
So,
Wow, and we
that-
still had some high scoring game. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, so that is an absolute silver lining for Jack Kincannon, is that if this league is seeing less 2-pointers, that's obviously a plus for him, and he becomes a much better goalie.
But wouldn't the
But-
32 kind of have a reverse effect on that? Because would we,
Yeah.
opposed to having possessions where he's throw the ball away, why as well like take Romar take it too?
Well, and
Or
that's
Costa
why I'd be
take it
curious
too.
to see the number of 2 points attempted, because that I
Right.
don't know
Sure.
if that was lower than last year.
Oh,
or if
because they're going
that's
to be rushed.
higher.
They're not going to be like the same. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, but that's a good
That's
point. I
fair.
mean, with a shorter clock, you might be just
Sometimes it's
firing
going to
off
make
some
sense.
2-pointers. Yeah,
100%. Which as we've seen, high bouncers go sometimes. So
yeah.
that can happen.
We will see.
Tom's
Week
face
one
is
is
going
so
to be a
fun.
screenshot. I like that.
I know.
Seems to be such a good cannon. He was like, "Wait, hold up."
I feel like every year in week one, we always come out just with such strong opinions, and
'Cause
then
we've been
some are
waiting all
right,
summer for
some,
this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then some by like week 5 we're like, damn, that was so stupid.
Yeah, remember when we said like the Redbirds were so terrible, and we were like, I mean, they're not that bad.
Did I say that? I deleted that clip, I think.
You did say that. You did. Say
I
that.
did.
say
All right,
that.
so that wraps up Albany. Let's turn our attention, finish out here to this weekend, which the 3 of us will be attending in Charlotte.
Charlotte, we will be there.
Yeah.
We will be there. This lineup of games looks fantastic, especially after week 1.
Yes.
So let's do some predictions here. First game we got is Chrome Archers. Sam, we'll start with you.
Oh, man, you guys make it after talking about last week games and Chrome and Archers, like how good they are on offense. I know I said before the pod that Water Dogs Redwoods looks like game of the week, but I think this might be game of the week now.
I think this is game of the week.
This might get close. I'm banking on their high-powered offenses scoring a lot. I think they will score a lot. So I'm thinking like I think Chrome come out on top on this one. I think Hanley has a very good game and probably a hat trick, and I think it's going to be 15-14 Chrome.
Like that.
Tom?
I have the same winner, but not that high of a game. I think it's going to be 11-8 Chrome. I think Chrome are going to solve this one-trick pony Archers offense.
Oh,
And yeah, you heard me. And
Wait, hold on, whoa, back, hold on.
one trick
Hold on.
pony.
Make sure
huh?
what do you mean one trick pony?
it's the same thing every time. Have one guy push up the middle.
Yeah.
Have 2 guys on the outside here. Have one guy at the X. The guy at the X will get the ball. He'll either cut right, cut left, and then the guy at top will always cut. These 2 guys will always push back just a little bit, draw their defensive long poles out, and because of that, the like middle of the field gets open, and then easily plug it in. If you go back and watch, I think like
Wait, I'm absolutely going back to watch that because I did not pick up
Yeah,
on
go
that.
ahead,
definitely.
go ahead. You go back and watch. I don't know how many goals were actually scored by that, but there were a couple that I just thought was like, dude, it's the same thing every time.
Wow.
It's a one-trick pony. I think the Chrome are too good to stop that. Like the cannons,
Wow.
the cannons are a friggin' mess right now.
Okay.
Chrome will solve that. I think it's gonna be 11-8 Chrome.
All right.
And three goal diff too. Wow.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
James, did
Like
you have Archers?
I absolutely had Archers.
Wow. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah, like it's not a bash on the Chrome. I think Sam's score is accurate. I think the 15-16 range. But honestly, a lot of this has to do with just Mac O'Keefe. Like
He's
if
dangerous,
Mac
yeah.
O'Keefe shoots the ball on net, it usually goes in. And he's gonna get those looks this year. Not to mention, like, Matt Moore was hardly used, who was an absolute beast last year. And this still came out on top. So I say same score as Sam, but I think Archers take it. But Tom, I have literally nothing better to do, so I'm gonna go watch the Archers game right after this. So I am absolutely gonna check that out. So thank you for that. That's good stuff.
I could be wrong, but like from what I saw, it's like maybe it's not the same. Like have two guys come outside, but if you watch, most of their goals are scored in the middle of the field, and most of it's because they draw one defenseman out, leaving that open area, whether it's left or right.
Right. Okay. So same thing both sides. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, Matthew, talk to me.
I've got Chrome as well. I have them by 1. I think this is gonna be a tight game. I have 12-11 Chrome. I originally was gonna pick Archers just because I want Sisselberger to still be dominant. I think obviously Connor Farrell's gonna take some of those faceoffs away, but this comes down to
Dude,
defense.
what a matchup at the X.
I know,
Right?
I can't wait.
I didn't realize
That's good stuff.
That's gonna
good
be
stuff.
scrappy.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
But no, it came down to me for defense, which
Yeah.
I'll take the Chrome's defense over Archers any day.
Sure.
Goaltending,
JT.
I think both of them, Dobson looked great, but I'll take Scanoni as well. So I think that's going to be the difference here. But
Yeah.
I think I'm most excited to watch this face-off battle than anything.
100%.
Yeah, man.
So let's jump to game number 2. Got my Water Dogs taking on the Redwoods. 2-1-0 teams. Didn't know if we expected that, but let's start with you, James. Who you got in this one?
I got 12-10 Redwoods. Pretty easy.
I like
Pretty
that.
easy. Okay, that's fair.
No, well, I just Redwoods look really good.
Right.
Their offense was extremely fluid, and I don't know. They look like a brand new team. I think TD absolutely dominates at the X. It's going to be one of your guys' issues. I think
That could be a problem.
Without Courier picking up 6 GBs, I think Redwood's taking this for sure. 12-10.
I am going Water Dogs, but
Homer pick. Homer pick.
Say what you want. It's fine. I got the Dogs by 2. I don't know. I think
By 2?
Water Dogs. Yeah, by 2. Why are we acting like that? I said 10.
No, it's just because they're electric offense, or like why?
They can still win by 2. They
Because
won
they're
by
a
1
high-powered
last week.
offense. Oh,
I didn't say they're going to score
I just-
20 goals.
Gotcha.
Don't do this.
High-powered
Not in front of a
offense, Water
guest.
Dogs.
Don't do this.
High-powered offense, Water Dogs. I got you. All right, so why?
That's a complete narrative. I didn't utter those words.
So what do you think the
Anyway.
score's going to be then? What do you think the score's going to be?
I think it's going to be 11-9. You writing that down too?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? Do
Wait,
you think
with
it's gonna
that
be like-
with that handwriting, someone might think it's like alien hieroglyphics.
Don't do
or
that.
something,
Don't do
so-
that. I bought a new pen. This thing is a fucking blizzard.
No,
Um,
I think the Redwoods are very clearly riding high. I think the Water Dogs can bring them down to earth a little bit. But this is all assuming. I have to imagine and assume and hope that our offense figures it out. Because if they look like they did on Sunday all season long, it's going to be a very long season for this team.
You also realize that if Sowers comes across the crease, that Epple's taking his head off, right?
I mean, we have to just pray that
Like
doesn't
he's
happen.
absolutely like he's taking
That's season over. It's season over.
Okay, I hope that doesn't happen because I love how much I love Sowers.
I mean,
but
this league is a lot better with Michael Sowers in it. So
100%.
let's hope that doesn't happen.
100%.
But no,
I
I think
agree.
Dylan Ward coming back again. I don't think Matt DeLuca was the problem last week at all. But
no, solid.
Dylan Ward just the communication, the leadership out there,
Yep.
him coming out of the crease helps the defensive side and everything. So Jack Hanna is probably not going to play, which is going to hurt. But I think we've got the midfield depth to help with that. So I'm
Sure.
taking Dogs by 2.
Yeah, and your uniforms are the best in the league right now. Just sort of quick.
Dude, those blackout uniforms.
Nobody touches them.
Oh
Those
my
are
God.
Argue in the
those are
comments.
beauties.
Oh my
Clean. They're
gosh.
so clean.
Those are beauties.
Yes.
We need every team to have a blackout jersey.
To have
this
a
year.
blackout. Yeah, 100%. 100%. All right, who we got
Sam,
next?
let's go to you.
I am going Redwoods 11-10 in overtime. I think this is an overtime game.
Okay. I like that.
And this is cool. PLL does this now on their website. Past 3 matchups, Redwoods 3-0.
Yeah, but you can't look at that kind of stats.
Oh, okay. My bad. All right.
Unless it had said Water
Um,
Dogs had won last 3, then
Then you can absolutely use
Fair,
it.
yeah. Just history. I mean,
I definitely think I definitely think this is going to be one of the best games this weekend. It's going to go into overtime. It's going to be Redwoods defense versus a very powerful Water Dogs offense.
Powerful.
And then the question is, like, yeah, we were talking about earlier, we didn't hear a lot about McCardle. He didn't have a lot to play. So, like, you know, we just got to see those stars on the dog side. We got to see him come out and show out. And the Redwoods have that defense to stop him. So I think it's going to be a great battle. And I think, I do think it's going to go in overtime when Redwoods
Love
get
it.
That'd
that.
be sweet. I'd love to be there for an OT game, man. I'd love that.
We have to see at least one.
I think
100%.
last two times
Last year we
there,
saw remember
Oh,
Whip
that
Snakes
Whip
beat Water
Snakes.
Dogs in overtime.
Yeah.
That was
was
amazing. That was back
heartbreaking.
when they had a high-powered offense.
Yo, I swear.
So it was
Tom, we're going to you. We're moving past this.
So it really does, Matt, like you said. Are we going to see a Water Dogs team that is capable of winning games offensively, or are we going to see whatever the hell they were putting on against the Chaos? If what we saw against the Chaos is going to be this whole season, then get ready, Matt, because it is going to be a long season.
It's gonna be rough.
Get him, Tom.
I am going with the idea that the Water Dogs were just coming off that championship high.
This is what I
I'm
like
going
to
off
see.
the idea that they are still getting used to this whole new dynamic offense. They're still getting used to that shot clock. First game jitters, a lot of pressure on you. I think they're going to come out. I think they're going to come out flying. 14-12.
Wow, high scoring game too. I like
High
that.
scoring
You hear that,
game.
James? You
High
listen bottom
scoring
right
game.
corner.
I wrote that down too.
Good.
I
Come back to me when the Redwoods shut them out.
got it. I mean, I don't think they're going to shut them out.
6-0 final.
Do you think we'll ever see that? Like, I don't think we'll ever see
I've
that.
been thinking about
that'd be
that.
crazy.
I've been thinking about that. I hope we do one day.
Do we actually think
we
this
saw
could be a shutout?
Chrome
No way.
Redwoods last year in Charlotte. Remember, it was like 11-3 was the
Oh,
final.
yeah.
was so
I was
bad.
thinking about that game. When
We
you said
saw
there's
that.
so bad.
someone said there, I don't remember there ever being a like blowout. I was like, dude, wasn't there a blowout against the Redwoods? But I couldn't remember.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember what game that was. Yeah,
That
Dude,
has
that
to
was
be the
so boring.
lowest goal scored in the game, right?
And it was like 2 in garbage time, man. It was bad.
It was so bad.
horrible.
Um,
Yikes.
All right, I like the pick, Tom. I like the
So do I.
confidence.
So do I.
No, you don't. You already said no.
No,
Let's
I like
move
that.
on
I said I like
to
it.
Saturday, which I think this could sneakily be game of the week if it's not Chrome Archers.
my game of the week.
But it's
Wow,
from
I love it.
Archers.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll start with you, Tom. Whip Snakes Atlas. Give us your take.
I said that the Atlas defense had looked raw, but I think now that they're used to the speed, I think they're going to play a little bit better. I think Makar should be getting more minutes than he already has. I think if that defense can become well-rounded and Kincannon can play like Kincannon and like his actual, like how I thought Kincannon played before you guys brought me back down to from Cloud9. Because I didn't know he was like that bad.
He's just bad from 2. That's it.
If Kincannon can play as like a top 3 netminder, like how I thought he was, and the defense can become more well-rounded and can play up to that potential, I mean, I just don't see the Whip Snakes getting by. I think the Atlas have what it takes. I think the Atlas can be one of the best teams in this league.
Yes.
I'm going Atlas 13-12 in overtime.
Wow.
Ooh, 2 OT
Okay.
games. That would be sick.
Okay, hold up. I gotta ask Tom something just because you know my Kincannon take. You said top 3 goalie in the league. So I just put down Blaze, Burnlore, Scanone.
Nope. It's Blaze. For me, it was Blaze, Skinoni, and Kincannon. Burnlor was 4th.
Whoa.
Yikes.
Giggleman was 5th. This is off of last year. Giggleman was 5th.
Oh, okay. I think.
Wait, where's
Yeah.
Dylan Ward?
Dylan Ward, I didn't see enough of him last year, and last year was like the first real year I started
That's
writing. So
Okay. That's fair.
I can't put Kincannon in my top 3 in the league. I can't.
No, I got to put one.
now I can't. You guys broke by illusion.
I just like Dobson played better than him this weekend. You know, like I just like
He's gonna be right next weekend. Like, God, this Concannon guy sucks.
he's so terrible. Why Concannon is the worst? Sorry, Sam. Look at Sam.
No, I mean it's tough, but it's true.
Well, Sam, let's hear your pick. Let's go ahead. Let's get this out of the way. We know who you're picking, but tell us why.
No, dude, I'm picking Whips.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow,
it's the
abandoned
first-
already?
It's the first.
Week
It's the
two?
first time I'm not going Homer pick.
Wow, this is a moment in
Wow.
Quick Sticks history, folks.
This man just got
I'm
married.
trying to
He's
be
already
very
bailing. That's crazy.
objective. I'm trying to be very
Wow.
objective, and I don't see it, man. The whips are way too well rounded
Yeah.
for the mistakes and kind of gaps I saw this past week. I don't think it's going to be like a blowout, but I think Whips will come out on top. I think it's going to be probably like 14-12. But yeah, but like we said, like Baptiste can dominate. We
Doesn't
can't do
matter.
anything with it.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. So until we find a solution there, I think the Whip Snakes, Peter Salas looked very good last week, and now we have Burnlore going up against Concannon, which is like that's fight. He's going to eat. They're definitely going to set that shot up for him at some point if they get a full shot clock.
100%.
So I'm definitely looking to that, and if Jack can start making those saves, especially those bouncers, those 2-point bouncers, he is not good against. So
It's not.
so we'll see. Yeah, what I say, 14-12, 14-12 Atlas or 14-12 Whips. And yeah.
Well,
James?
I got Whips for sure. I think Tucker puts in his first 2-ball this week, by the way. 100%. Like
I would love to see that
1,000,000%.
live.
If they get a man up, that's cash. That's going right over your boy's head. That's going right over your boy's head. I think the Whip Snakes did a lot of little things that should scare people. I think Tom kind of put it best that like Will Manny looks like he's been on that team for 4 years. I mean, he was back cutting exactly when he should be, right places, right time. It's actually not a big diss to Alice. I just think the Whip Snakes are that good, and like we do every year, like Rambo didn't even dodge this game and they won. Or yeah, so
Yeah, he just
like he didn't
kind of
dodge.
didn't even do his move. He just like ran out.
And I was just watching the game again before we hopped on, and like even the Cargatera and Carter were like, "Have we seen Rambo dodge from the wing?" And they're like, "No, he just played quarterback." And then like a little guy named Zed Williams also plays for them. So
Dude,
Is he playing this weekend?
yeah, I think so.
He is?
I think so. Yeah.
good gracious. All right.
So-
Can I change my score?
No,
All right.
no, you can't. I do have a high scoring game. I think 15-13 Whip Snakes.
Mm.
And Tucker
Wow.
puts in his first 2-ball on your boy's head. Concannon on your head. He's a rookie.
You-
$5? All right.
Dorkovic is going to roll back and he's going to cash it. I'm telling you.
You think
Well,
Burnlore
it'll be
less
live,
than
so I'll
13?
buy you a drink if he does it.
Okay, sorry, Tom. What'd you say?
You think Burnlore less than 13? 'Cause
I
you-
do. I think Burnlore is not to full Burnlore, if that makes sense. I think he's still coming off that injury. It's not a diss on him. I think it's more just how fast the game's going to be. I don't think he's gonna, but I don't think he's gonna give up goals that like we kind of saw last week. Some goals were like, "Hey, that's on me." I don't think Burnlore's gonna give those up. You know what I'm saying? So that's why.
No, I could see. I agree. I don't think Burnlore's been 100%. I think if he monitors his injury and the defense can play like that collapsing style like they did last game, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think they're. I don't. I mean, I have 13-12 Atlas, like I said, but like even then, like I'm going off the idea that the Whip Snakes don't collapse and they don't play that defensive style again, but they could.
Yeah,
It could be
that's
completely
true.
different game.
That's true. I think what's scary about Burnlore is he could get hot and have 17 saves this weekend. Like he's that good that he could come back. But I just think it's gonna take some time. So we shall see.
Yeah, I've got 13-12 as well as my score, but I've got Whip Snakes by 1. So Tom
Overtime?
could yeah, I'll say overtime.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah,
Throw it
but
on
let's
there.
throw OT
Why
in
not?
there.
That'd be
Prop
fun,
bet.
yeah.
OT.
Sorry, Matt, real quick. We have to love that there's no timeouts in overtime, by the way. That's one of my favorite
Oh,
things. about
100%.
PLL. It is
That was
the
one of the best
things.
rules they've added.
Roll
yeah.
the balls out and just like
Yes.
that's amazing. So sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I love that rule. This is the tough pick just because I have to imagine that Baptiste is going to absolutely dominate the face-off. But like you said, that doesn't necessarily mean the game is won for Atlas. They had 19
Wait,
turnovers last week.
why do you think he's going to dominate?
I mean, I just have to imagine that P. LaSalle is not going to come out competing with him. I mean, he might,
it's
but
I don't-
we
I
have
don't-
high expectation for Trevor, but we'll see. Like,
Yeah,
Petey's very good.
I mean, Baptiste has a record of putting rookies in their place on the face-off.
That's true. That's true. I think we pulled that stat for one of our pods, and he always.
He's
gives
just,
them
I mean, yeah, it's it's got to be intimidating as hell as your second game and you're going up against Trevor Baptiste. But
yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
true.
I think LaSalle could surprise me. It could absolutely happen.
No, I know.
but-
I just wanted to. I was kind of wanted to
I
hear
think. I think.
No,
we'll
I
be good.
thought with how sloppy Atlas looked on offense last week with that many turnovers, the Whipsnakes just look cleaner on offense to me. So
Agreed.
I just cannot fathom the idea of the Whipsnakes starting 0-2.
Yeah,
Like that's so hard
that's
to
true.
imagine.
That's
it's hard
true.
to imagine Atlas
That's
being
true.
0-2 also.
I feel
but-
like they are so well coached, man. I think Tom kind of talked about with Stagnita. They are so well coached. They do so many little things through
Yeah.
possessions that are like that's a big deal. But real quick, did you guys hear when Trevor was mic'd up on the faceoff and he was asking his wing guy, "Do you have him boxed out?" And his wing guy said, "Yeah," and then he popped it between his legs. Like that was really cool. Like that's just
I don't
like
remember
that's,
that,
so
but I need to
yeah,
watch.
I'll find
That's
the clip. They never clipped it, but he keeps yelling, "Do you have him boxed out? Do you have him boxed out?" And once he hears yes, he throws it behind him and they get the ground ball. I was like,
Oh my
Trevor's
god,
different,
that's
man.
cool.
Trevor is so different. Like he is the man. So
That's
I've
really
seen
frustrating.
I've seen the clip of him like calling out to the ref. He has like one hand on the stick.
oh yeah, he's like his elbow.
He's still holding his own.
elbow.
That is like
Yeah.
crazy, dude.
It's people don't realize how much strength that takes, like to do that while you're talking. And Matty P talked to him. Trevor was like, "I was doing that for you, man. I was doing that for you." So that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
Let's wrap up the weekend. James, your Chaos taking on the Cannons.
Yeah.
Start us off. Who you got?
I got another. I got a low scoring affair for us. I got 11-9. Chaos take it. I always fear the day that Blaze has its off day, but it hasn't come. So it's
Wow,
really hard to
fair.
not be really confident in my team when Blaze is.
Yeah.
Like, I think I said this before we got on, but if Blaze is not screened and you do not change levels, the ball is not going in. I genuinely believe that. If he's screened or if you try to go high to low, low to high, you have a pretty good chance. But if you don't, I mean, he's a brick wall. So I bust my tip.
Tom?
James, I've been praising the Chaos all day. I even said Blaze is the best goalie in the league. I think the Chaos are one of the best coach teams in the league, one of the best, most well-rounded teams. And I think they're going to be one of the best 0-2 teams of all time.
Whoa!
Because I have the Cannons
I
winning.
like that.
I think it's going to be a really, really low-scoring game. Like I think it's going to be like 9-7.
9-7. Wow.
9-7 or 9-8. I don't think Blaze is going to let in 10+ goals. But I don't think the Chaos are going to score more than like 8 goals.
Yeah.
I think the Cannons right now need to slow down the game. And if they can slow it down and play to their style,
Yeah.
which I know, like, oh, what's their style? Which is give the ball to Holming and slow it down. If you can do that, I think this could be a close one. I think this could be a close one.
Yeah. Holman's also very good. Like he's a very talented player. So, well, we'll see. That's low scoring, man. That's gonna be interesting.
9-8, yeah.
I like that. Okay. Well, I got your Twitter handle, so I'm gonna be all over it.
I'm right there with you, Ty. I have 9-8 Cannons too.
You have us
I
losing?
think.
Can I change my pick?
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Not the same reasons though. I think.
Same reasons.
So fair. Yeah. I think you guys like coming back first week. If you guys have your full offense, like, adjusting from NLL to PLL, maybe some adjustment, they're pretty great players. So, we'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, and maybe they come back in and it's like picking right back up where they were in the NLL and making those crazy ass like Canadian plays that they love to do. But yeah, I think Cannon's defense and I think their transition play is gonna pick up, and their offense is great, and I am banking on Blaze still having a great week, and so that's why it's going to be that low scoring affair.
Sure.
And so 9-8 cannons.
9-8 cannons.
All right. I think y'all two are crazy because I have cannons 11-8, or sorry, chaos 11-8.
Okay.
Wow.
I originally had this by 4. I dropped it to 3.
Jesus.
The goal difference.
Damn.
Dude,
Okay.
you were talking about arguably the most complete team in the PLL, maybe behind the Chrome, versus a team in a complete rebuild right now. So you're getting offensive pieces back this week. Your face-off guy is probably going to dominate Kelly, because he got dominated last week, but that was against Sisselberger, so we'll see. But
That's true. That's
no,
true.
I mean, I do agree. I think it's a very low-scoring game. I think you guys are right with that, but there's no position to where the Cannons match up better than the Chaos do on the field.
I think as scared we are for the Archers getting Mike, like people should be for the Chaos having Rowlett. Because if we play make it take it for a quarter with Josh Byrne, that can get out of hand.
Right.
Seriously, I mean that could really be a 4 or 5 goal like quarter for him. So I just think that takes time. But no, I like your take. I think it's gonna.
But you're gonna have what, Rowlett on Manny or Holman?
No, because he's like our cover guy.
So
And
he's gonna be on Asher?
dodge much. Yeah, he'll be on Asher 100%.
And then what, Newman on?
Newman's gonna be on him. Yeah, that's a second as well.
So
Because
yeah.
Rowlett's our best cover guy. There's no reason we wouldn't have him on.
I mean,
Asher
if Rowlett
too,
plays that well as he did last week, this week, you're potentially taking Asher out of the game completely.
yeah, it's also
If he covers him that well.
kind of crazy. Our quote unquote third best defenseman is Will Bowen. So that's kind of wild.
Crazy.
Like,
But
that's
I
That's
think
scary.
this might be, if Rowlett is on Asher Knowlting, that is probably going to be my matchup of the week, because those are two of the most physical guys in the league.
Sure.
And when Asher wants to get to the crease,
Oh, he gets that.
he's going to get to the crease. But Rowlett is a guy who's like, if you think you're getting this crease, I'll kill you.
Yes,
So,
he's crazy. He's crazy.
I got 11-8. I think it's gonna be a low scoring game, but I absolutely have chaos coming out.
Wow, I love these takes, man. This is gonna be a fun weekend.
This is gonna be a fun one. We're gonna have to remember these. James, you were writing them down, right?
Just the ones I didn't like. So.
All right. Well, that is all we got for tonight. A big thank you to Tom Dunford for joining us.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you, man.
Thank you, dude.
Great to have
Thank you
on.
for having me. Seriously, I love this. This is really fun.
Absolutely. We'll have you back anytime. Again, we'll put his Twitter and Instagram and any other links in the description.
If you're in Charlotte, let us know. We'll be there.
We'll see you in Charlotte. We'll be there Thursday to Sunday. Looking forward to a great weekend. But until then, peace out.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.